Birthday Polynomial Project by Orlando Martinez. My birthday is on May 11, 2000, meaning that my number will be 511-2000. Then we reverse the numbers and get 000-211-5. That's the number that I shall use to get my polynomial. Now that we got the numbers, let's make it into a polynomial. But let's get rid of the zeros in the number because they have no effect to the polynomial. My polynomial would be 2x to the third power plus x to the second power plus x plus 5. Once graphed, this is how my polynomial should look like. Let's switch the polynomial to a style that best fits me. Let's go from 2x to the third power plus x squared plus x plus 5 to 2x to the third power plus x squared minus x plus 5. Now that polynomial fits more my style. Now time to find the domain and range. In my case, both numbers came out to be from negative infinity to positive infinity. Now time to find the y-intercept. In order to find the y-intercept, we need to set the x's equal to 0. In my case, y equals 5. Now time to find all real numbers. All I had to do was look at the x-intercept. In my case, x equals negative 1.682. Now time to find the maximum and minimum. The maximum for my graph is negative 0.608, 5.528, and the minimum is 0.274, 4.842. Now the description of end behavior. My graph falls to the left and rises to the right, all while being not symmetrical. Now, the big question. How does this graph represent me? This graph represents a part of me. The way it relates to me is because it talks about my recent past competition in TSA in Waco, Texas. My team and I were competing in video game design, and we had to turn in our game in less than 30 minutes. But the game takes time to export out of the software and turn into a disk. I say that the part of the graph where the graph goes from negative infinity to maximum is the part where we had time in our back pressuring us to turn it in. But it reached the maximum as we turned in the game and felt relieved. Now the graph hits the minimum when we give the game in and play our game in the software and realize that there is a game-breaking bug. That makes the game stuck in place. That's when my team and I felt bummed that we turned in a game with a bug that makes our game almost unplayable. Eventually, we got over the fact that we turned in an almost unplayable game and started to think positive and saying that we learned from our mistakes and just blocked out the negatives in the trip. Eventually, we got to our interview with the judge and hoped that the judge would shut us down and say that you're disqualified for turning in a game that isn't complete. But instead, the judge started saying that our game is good and has the quality of being a really good game. And that really turned my day upside down and made me feel even better about myself. And that is when my minimum started to go to my positive infinity.